How's it going, guys? You got Luke here. I'm bringing you guys another Wi-Fi battle. I had actually, this one in particular was against Seb, SMPgaming. You can see that we actually bought exactly the same team. It's a team that I made a long time ago, actually, and I gave it to Seb to use for a Wi-Fi battle again a while ago, and he ended up bringing it, and I ended up bringing this, and this battle was not planned at all. You know, we ended up going on Wi-Fi Zap looking for a battle, and we ended up finding each other without knowing. So we knew at this point in time that we were going to be battling each other. So he ends up hitting a focus blast first turn. I'm going to end up going for the Hydro Pump and I actually end up missing, which is not surprising because, you know, that happens to me all the time. So he ends up going out to his Rotom. I end up going for the Hydro Pump yet again just because, you know, I thought we might want to stay in, but, you know, he doesn't, which is fine, obviously. So I end up hitting that thing as it comes in. Now, here I actually wanted to get off a Will-O-Wisp of my own, knowing that he's obviously going to want to go for the Will-O-Wisp, but the thing is, I thought for some reason that he had Volt Switch, and then I realised that, you know, this Rotom doesn't have Volt Switch, it has Thunderbolt, so really it was a bad misplay on my part, and I end up getting burned and, you know, having the residual damage every turn. And also, you know, he's going to end up getting off a T-Bolt before I do, because now I'm going to go for a T-Bolt. You see, his actually does a really good amount to me, and mine actually takes him out from the range that he's at, so I think I got a pretty good roll on that, on the damage roll, which I'm not going to complain about. So I end up taking out his Rotom really early on in the match, actually. You know, I have a T-Tar, I have a Gliscor, I have a Rachi. So, you know, Rotom is kind of useful, really, and we're both going to end up losing our Rotoms here because I know he's going to U-turn, and with given the current teams that we're, the current team that we're both using, you can't afford to give up initiative, really, with the teams. So you'll see, like, here as a prime example, he ends up U-turning out, which is a perfect opportunity for me to go out to my T-Tar. I can Ice Beam this thing, I can set up rocks if I want to. He ends up going for the substitute here, actually predicting me to go for the Stealth Rock, which is a good play on his part. He knows I'm not going to want to go straight for the Ice Beam to take him out, even though he knows for a fact that I do run Ice Beam on this T-Tar because he's running exactly the same set. So I end up switching out to my Gliscor now, knowing that he's going to want a Toxic because he only has Earthquake and Toxic. He is the almost, well, he's not almost max speed, but it's heavy max speed. Oh, sorry, heavy speed investment. It's 244 speed exactly, I think. So I know he's going to want to go for that, so I end up going into Gliscor. I end up doubling out to Scizor to see if he wants to stay in or if he actually wants to, you know, end up switching. Again, I stay in here going for the U-turn because at that point in time I actually forgot that I was running 244 speed. It's only when he outsped me that I realised, so I mean, it would have outsped anyway, but it was only, you know, I checked it when I went into my Gliscor here, and we ended up coming to a mutual agreement here that this match was just going to be way too long and stally, and we both kind of wanted to get an upload out of it, so we both decided, you know what, we're both going to double switch here, and we're both going to switch out to something random on our team. So, notably, take note, he goes out to Scizor, I go out to Rachi. Now, at this point, again, I really didn't want him to U-turn on anything on my team. That would have been horrific, because that's big damage on anything. If I go to Gliscor, he can go to Gliscor, which we didn't want happening. So I end up trying to flinch him with Iron Head. He ends up actually just going straight out to his Rachi, and then back out to his Scizor, as I'm actually stuck going for Iron Head now. Now, again, I don't want to switch because I can't afford him to get a U-turn off. But at the same time, it's so early on in the game that I can't afford to let my Rachi take a U-turn because it will do over 3/4 to it, so I have to switch to Gliscor. And as you'll see, now that I end up switching to Gliscor, he ends up bringing in his Gliscor, which is exactly what I didn't want because this match is going to be way too long. So we both end up coming to the agreement yet again that we're both going to double out. This time I go to my Scizor, this time he goes to his Rachi, which is much more favourable for me because, again, now he's in the position where he needs to flinch me with Iron Head. So I'm able to just go for the U-turn. He does go for the Iron Head, he makes the smart play. That is literally the best play he could make right now, other than going to Gliscor if we didn't really care. But you'll see that U-turn does big damage. So now I end up going out into my own my own Rachi here because I just want to actually hit him with an Iron Head. Now he ends up outspeeding me and flinching me here as I did go for Iron Head. Now here I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch in case he wants to send in the Gliscor. It will do a respectable amount, maybe to the point where I'll scare him out and he won't want to stay in knowing that I'm choice locked. But he ends up flinching me and getting a critical hit and outspeeding me. I think he wins every single speed tie in this match, bar 2, which is insane. So my Rachi ends up taking a fuckload of damage, basically for no reason, due to misplays on my part, or bad plays on my part, not misplays, and basically, you know, just shit luck. So he knows I'm definitely going to want my Rachi around, so he ends up pursuing me here as I end up trying to make the decent play and switching out, which is a good play on his part. Now here he knows I can take him out with a hidden power of fire, and I knowing that he's going to because if he stays in pretty much, I know he's going to want to pursue me, which might kill me, although I do have the Sash, it'll bring me to Sash maybe. So knowing that he's not well, knowing, it's hard to explain, knowing that I'm not going to want to fuck around and hit him with a HP fire, he's going to want to switch, but me knowing that he knows that is going to make me want to go for the Focus Blast. Now, the reason why I do that is because if he switches into T-Tart on a Psychic or a Hidden Power Fire or any other move that I have like Shadow Ball, then he's pretty much going to be able to come into it for free, be at max HP, max special defense, all this kind of stuff. With the Chopple Berry, he'll be able to take a Focus Blast and pick me off, so I need to be very, very careful, which is why you'll see here I end up continuously going for Focus Blast, because I can't have that T-Tar come in for free and killing my Alakazam. I need it. So, for that reason, you know, he ends up just protecting my Gliscor and whatnot now, and he's actually going to end up switching out into his Scizor here, I guess, predicting me just to go for the Psychic or the Focus Blast, thinking that, you know, he can take any one of those hits, and I end up going for the Psychic, which he does take. Now, here I'm actually going to predict him to want me to switch to go for the Pursuit, so I actually end up staying in, but he makes a really good play and ends up going for the Bullet Punch, which ends up taking me out, which is, you know, fair enough. And I guess here I wanted to go for the Bullet Punch again, not wanting to give away that Switch Initiative. If I'd have gone for the U-turn, then I would have had to have given him Switch Initiative, which is something I can't afford to do because I'm running low on pokes right now. So I end up going for the Bullet Punch. Of course, I lose the Speed tie, which is really frustrating because now my Scizor is at a range where, you know, an EQ is definitely going to take me out. And where he's going to get a Protect off here, which is really obvious. Even though I could have switched, I don't really have much to switch to because something will inevitably have to take a hit. Whereas if I stayed in and he didn't Protect for whatever reason, I could have taken him out. So I end up doing that, but he ends up taking the hit like I thought he would. But now I guess I can go to T-Tar. Unfortunately, it's going to have to take a hit, which, you know, sucks, but at the same time I'm running a really good amount of HP investment. I'm running a little bit of defense. I know I can easily take this with over half. Well, not easily. Well, I guess. I take it relatively well. So I can just take him out with an Ice Beam as he's going to go into his own T-Tar. Now, I have Rocks up and he doesn't, so he's actually going to end up going for Rocks here as I end up going for the Superpower. Nice that I win the Speed tie. Would have been nicer if I won it next turn, or would be nice if I won it next turn. Because he's going to want to go for a Superpower of his own once he gets the Stealth Rocks up. He knows he can take a Superpower because obviously he knows he's got Chopple Berry. So here I actually end up winning the Speed tie, which is fantastic because that means I don't have to take any more damage on my T-Tar and I am able to pick him off with the Superpower. Even though I'm at -1, you know, he's lost his Chopple Berry, so, you know, he's going down. So now he has to go out into his Alakazam, which is his last Pokemon. He ends up hitting the Focus Blast. Of course, this would have been so much easier if he'd have missed. Because, oh no, actually I ended up taking this because of my special defense boost in the sand, because of my high HP investment and my Chopple Berry. I'm going to be able to take the Focus Blast and get that Pursuit off. Even though it doesn't do much damage, every single bit of that damage is actually critical, because I actually did a calc after the match. And I think I had something like a 50 point something% chance to take him out with this EQ. And he ends up actually, I think I have Hidden Power Fire, he's supposed to have Ice, but he missapped it to Dark, which means he has to go for the Psychic, which I end up taking. I end up taking him out with a Earthquake. So that was a really good game, Seb. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know, you can always leave a comment and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. That's why I bring them to you. I'm going to try to post Wi-Fi battles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from now on. So if you think that's a good idea, drop me a comment.